Hey guys. I know it's kind of late. It is 8:10 on a Saturday night here in Phoenix, Arizona. Where are you guys signing in from? I was just going to let a couple people join before I go into Snapple's update. Hello, good evening. 11 and 11, I love that. That's a lucky number. Hi, Jenny. My heart goes out to you tonight. Sweet Ace. Thinking of you. Texas, Cali, Phoenix, California. Hello, Mother. My mother calls me Nana. Okay. Yeah. Caitlin, I can tell by your face everything's okay. Everything is fine as of now. So I don't, this is kind of a really neutral update. It's not a good update. It's not a bad update per se. Essentially, I checked in this morning with the ER doctor. He was doing the overnight. I called pretty early, and he really told me Snapple's about the same as when we spoke the night before. He was still on the ventilator, and he had a one-on-one nurse assigned to them. The inflammation in his throat was still very severe, and we kind of discussed what the game plan should be. He kind of gave me the go ahead to start calling and trying to find a surgeon able to do the airway surgery. We left off with tentative plan to, they're going to extubate him, see how he does, see if he's a candidate for transfer and transport. But he was like, be working on the back end to secure a surgical center and a facility to do that. So I called around to a few hospitals that have existing relationships with, and they weighed in a little bit. Every hospital and every practice, they have like different opinions on when you should do what. So the first ER specialty hospital was like, do not extubate him, like leave him how he is, which did not align with what we had originally planned on doing. And so they referred me to somewhere closer because they didn't feel like he was a candidate to go all the way out to Mesa. And I talked to a really nice criticalist. Her name was Dr. Smith at Phoenix Referral, I think is what it's called. I actually have never used that practice, but I'm going to after. I just really appreciated. She had no reason to get on the phone with me and start discussing medical details. Like usually you got to pay for that. But she did. And I really appreciated that. So she weighed in a little bit. And then a few hours later, it's really hard to be patient, but I know how busy those doctors are over there, and it is an ICU, and when you walk in there, you're like, whoa, this is a lot going on. So I know from all of my experience with this little turkey that no news is good news. So I checked in with Dr. Lou early afternoon, and the timeline of everything we were doing had changed, as well as the approach. And I actually really like the new timeline for various reasons. But, though I want to get Snapple to our end goal, which is healthy, happy, stable surgery, adoptable status, ultimately, I also know that it's important to be conservative, and he is combating pneumonia and that extreme inflammation. So if the if the hospital thinks he can and thinks we should give him more time to stabilize, by golly, I'm down. So I was really nervous about doing the airway surgery, but I felt, and we had thought that was the only possibility. So essentially where we stand is we are giving his body more time for the inflammation to go down. So essentially, you can see, because he's intubated, the inflammation surrounding that tube that's creating a passageway through his airway is so tight. His vocal cords are so inflamed that they're literally putting like salt water on it and hoping that it'll shrink back down. Vocal cord beef jerky. That was the picture Dr. Lou gave me today. And he's got just the swelling in his throat is so severe that they're not even willing to try to extubate him because they know that his airway will just close right up. So we're giving him more time for all of that swelling to go down tomorrow, probably the next day. And then we're thinking we can move forward with that airway surgery Monday or beginning of next week. So though I'm ready for him to get the surgery, heal, come home, I'm also really, this time feels like a gift, and I like that. It also gives us some more time for fundraising because you know that is a really big bill. I did put down another $3,000 tonight for our deposit, but I did not go visit him, only because I asked to go visit him, and Dr. Lou was giving me shit because he was like, if you really want to watch him sleep, but he was right, I would just be watching him sleep. So we're there in spirit for Snapple. Hopefully tomorrow he'll be a little more conscious. Hopefully the inflammation will go down, and we'll be able to, I hope he can breathe on his own tomorrow. That would be the absolute best case scenario, but we're all in it for this guy. Great question. What caused this? This is insane, you guys. Poor breeding, yes. So this was a combination of a freak accident and bulldogs are congenital nightmares. They really are. They are just riddled with congenital abnormalities. He essentially, what we believed happened, is he was eating his food. He choked on his food. He's kibble. He choked on it. In the midst of choking, he swallowed his own elongated soft palate. So the soft palate in the back of his, on the roof of his mouth, it goes way too far back. He swallowed that, and that trauma caused this like uproar of inflammation in the back of his throat, and he was literally choking on his own body parts. So everything ballooned from there, and that caused it to impede on his airway. It's wild. It's really wild. It was described to me as like a freak incident. And the crazy thing is when we first received Snapple, whenever we get an English bulldog or a French bulldog, we're pretty prepared to do an airway surgery. It's just so common, and honestly, best practice really is to get this surgery done for every animal. But when we consulted with Dr. Radlinsky, who is literally sets the gold standard for surgery in our area, he was so healthy and content that she essentially just said, why waste the funding and do it? This is a very stable dog that's doing great. He's not symptomatic, so save the funding for another animal. And we're like, well, okay, great. This sounds awesome. Now, could she have predicted that he would swallow his soft palate and balloon in a split second and have his airways close up? No. This was really a freak incident. So I was reassured that time and time again by the doctors, because I kept just like, you know, we did our due diligence. We planned on getting him this thing. Like I was like, I'm feeling guilty. Did I make the wrong decision? But really, I mean, the doctors were like, no, if that's what she said, this is, she knows her stuff. So, Snapple's about 5 years old. He's just a middle-aged guy trying to live his best life. It's really interesting because in the spectrum of bulldogs, you know, brachiocephalic dogs always have a hard time breathing. But in the spectrum of bulldogs, he wasn't the snortiest guy. Squiddy. Oh, him's gotta poop. Hold on. Hunch him. Did you have to poop? You gotta poop? Squid always has to poop. But I just wanted to hop on there and give you guys that update. I will give you as much information as I receive. I'm just kind of waiting on pins and needles, you know? So we'll just keep plugging away. I do really like the idea of giving him more time to heal. And I'm crossing my fingers that Monday is a good timeline for the surgery to potentially happen. If we waited to Monday, I believe that we could actually do the entirety of the procedure and the hospitalization at VetMed, which would make me feel really good. I'm very confident and comfortable with their team. So, yeah. You probably won't see very many clever reels or updates. I'll probably be just plugging information in the stories. So keep your eyes on the stories over the next 24 hours. And then, yeah, keep Snapple in your thoughts and prayers. He's a really good guy. It's crazy to think that as of 48 hours ago, Snapple was literally doing normal dog stuff, on a walk, sitting on top of a rock. He was supposed to have his training today. Kylie was going to go work with him at our trainer's house. And then just last night, Dawn was like, I think this dog choked on his food and he's not breathing well. And then he sent me the video and I was like, oh, wow, that's not good. But even the video, it didn't seem critical. But by the time that I arrived, which is like a 10-minute drive, he was really bad. He was really, really bad. I've had a lot of panicked drives to VetMed specifically, but many ERs, and that was a really, really scary one because that noise that was happening, coming out of his mouth, him trying to breathe, was just so freaking horrific. But what was even scarier is when it went completely silent. That's when I knew he was not breathing. Yeah, so anyways, just a neutral update. Yeah. Dude, Sarah, what is happening with all of our animals? I thought of you guys last night because I've never had a dog on a ventilator. And the first time I ever saw a dog be like rushed in and instantly put on a ventilator was with your babe last week. I don't know. We need to sage again. Let's sage all the houses, all the sanctuaries. Okay, well, I am absolutely exhausted, and Squid has found something in the backyard that he's trying to do the murders on. Kind sir, look at him. Kind sir, what are you doing? That is my slipper. Handsome, what are you doing, little handsome? Why would you do that, Baba? He's so bad. He's so bad. Anyways, okay. Good night for reals. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for all your support this weekend. I really, really appreciate it. Love you. Bye.